Welcome back to Contemporary Black Voices, and it's time for Hot Topics. But before we get to Hot Topics, we want to read or share with you a couple comments we got on our show last week about handkerchief, beat a handkerchief head Negro. So John Mills 5146 says, I like you guys. Hey,
Hey,
did you
John.
believe that? Hey, John, thank you.
Thank you, John. We finally got somebody that likes it.
That's new. Then Top Secret Productions LLC said, America suffered? Question mark. America prospered and became the richest country because of slavery. Well, I don't think this person gets argument from us. I think
No.
we all
We
would
all agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was
definitely.
that?
It was Top Secret Productions LLC.
Okay,
we
Top
definitely
Secret.
agree
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
Now we got Wonder Why 5824. He says, Tim, boom, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. What's up? Exclamation mark, exclamation mark. I love Tim, exclamation mark. No, then he has Vic and then Tim, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. So I can only assume that he likes Tim.
Well,
That's okay, I guess.
hey, you like,
weren't
yeah,
talking
you like,
about-
you like Tim.
What was his name?
Tim Scott.
We are
No.
talking about Tim Duncan.
Well, no, we were
or Tiny Tim.
So he has
Tim
a,
Scott.
you have a crush on Tim.
Tiny
Hey,
Tim.
that's all right.
Okay.
That's all right.
So those are a couple comments we got. We really do appreciate your comments. It makes us feel good to know that at least we're touching you somehow. And we really do encourage you to keep responding. And we will continue to read your responses on the show. So now, hot topics. Did Puffy kill Tupac?
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Did Puffy kill Tupac? Now, I
Go ahead and do your disclaimer.
I'm not big. I'm not big on rap at all. It's not my cup of tea. So we do have a person who was in the music industry for years, Chris Dawkins. So I would let Chris run with this one.
I do remember seeing you at Kentucky Fried Chicken rapping about some chicken. Anyway, I won't tell anybody if you don't. Look, I'm not going to deal with the did Puffy kill Tupac. Hopefully, the information will come out. And to be honest with you, I've not seen any information about that. I think Dr. Sharon has seen some things about that, but I don't know. There's a lot of rumors going around regarding Puffy, and I don't want to get involved in that because the last person I think who did Jamie Foxx ended up in the hospital. So, hey, well, I ain't saying nothing about you. Okay. I don't want none of that fire. But anyway, you know, if you deal with Tupac, that was a very important announcement, I think, after how long's it been? 20 years? It's been 20 some years. And this guy, as far as I know, that they caught, basically told on himself. He told on himself, and that's how they arrested him. He was trying to blame it on one guy that just got, who died, and because that guy died, now he's the only guy left.
Well, when that guy confessed, you said he confessed?
No, I didn't say he confessed.
Okay. What, is he
told
the
on
one
himself.
making the accusation?
So-
because it wasn't Puffy
No.
that carried out the act. It was that Puffy
The guy.
paid
So
somebody.
here's the deal. They were saying that the guy, the Keefy D. So he was in the car. It was his nephew, Orlando Anderson, that got jumped at the Vegas match. That he's the one that got jumped. It stemmed over a necklace back in California.
Are you talking about when they got in the fight?
When they got in a fight. So they got in a fight. It was based over a necklace. Okay. It was a Crip and Blood thing. It was based over a necklace. Orlando was one of the ones that jumped one of the people from Suge Knight's entourage and took the necklace. They saw him at the fight in Vegas. They jumped on him. Tupac ran and jumped into the melee. Everything's on camera. And all this was well known at the time. And so they waited for Tupac. They didn't see them leaving, but they caught Tupac and Suge Knight in the caravan on the strip and rolled to the front of the caravan, and that's when they shot. So according to the testimony, KVD is the one that gave Orlando, his nephew, the weapon that was used. And so even back when this first happened, 27 years ago,
27, yeah.
people were already saying Orlando Anderson killed Tupac. It was Orlando, that was well known. Everyone knew Orlando Anderson killed Tupac. And so they even knew what happened to the car. The car went back to LA, got painted, all this kind of stuff. It's my thing is this: 27 years later, why now? When you've had all the evidence, the Vegas Strip is probably the most photographed, filmed, monitored place on the planet.
Really?
You know what I mean? And so you can't move an inch without being on a camera on the Vegas Strip. And so why this long? And when you've known all the players, you've had all the witnesses, you knew where the car was, you knew who did what. It's just that's what baffles me in this case. Why now? Why this long when you've had all the evidence and all the players? And so even if you're saying that, even by what they're saying about it, that he's kind of snitched on himself, he's told this story years. He told this story years ago. He told this story. This story was out there at the very beginning. So is it hearsay or is it not hearsay? You know what I mean? So and if a person is confessing, how could that be hearsay? He made these confessions years ago. So that's kind of what the backdrop of the story, and that's kind of what kind of baffles me.
Do any of you know, I know they did raid his house just recently. And do any of you know if there was anything that was gotten through the raid?
Whose house?
Whose
house?
KVD's house?
Yeah.
Now, who's KVD?
He's the
guy
one
that put in
who,
jail.
he's the one that went to
Where do you
jail.
know all these names? KVD,
Keefy D.
Keefy D.
Keefy D.
Keith, what was it? What's his real name?
Tupac, and
Freddie W.
Suge.
They're nicknames. They're nicknames.
W.
Yeah.
You know, there is a thought that they want to interrogate Keefy D to really to find out information if Puffy is tied to this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know whether Puffy is tied to this, but there has been a lot of stuff happening to him over the last couple of years, and things. You know, even the death of the mother of his girls, to where his name has been negatively tied up into that. So the conspiracy is that whatever Keith D is saying during the interrogation, hopefully it would be enough information possibly to bring in Puffy for more questioning.
To bring in Puffy?
Yeah. Because they're saying that Puffy paid them, what is it, $25 million or so? It was some outrageous, I forgot what it was, some outrageous number. And so the feds had gave him immunity, was it 10 years ago? They gave
KVD?
They gave KVD immunity 10 years ago. Supposedly, that was the information that they were trying to, the reason they gave him immunity on the Tupac stuff is because they were after the bigger fish. They wanted Puffy and Suge Knight. And so that was the reason. So they're questioning how that federal immunity applies to the Vegas murder charge, and would it apply to the Vegas?
And the feds will take precedent all the time over state.
And so, but it's going to be based on what that immunity was for. And if the feds got the nod from all of the local jurisdictions, because it's multi-jurisdictional. It's LA County, Vegas, and
How's it LA County when it took place in Vegas?
all of these people were LA residents, and the vehicle was taken back to LA. And so
It's
the
where
investigation, because part of the investigation was from Los Angeles, the Los Angeles area, because it involved the chain and the beating at the mall. So all of it stems, the original stems from there.
Well, you're not saying
It was a chain of events.
you're not saying Los Angeles has jurisdiction
So
in the prosecution.
No, he's not.
right, no. I'm not saying that they don't have jurisdiction as far as prosecuting the murder case. They were involved as far as the initial investigations and the subsequent investigation after the shooting, because it stemmed from an incident at a mall in LA, a beating over a chain, and then the vehicle going back to LA, the vehicle being registered, the murder vehicle, the vehicle they shot from.
Where was
Puffy?
KVD?
Excuse me. I just want you to explain. How does Puffy get tied into this?
Because there was a beef between the two groups at the time. So
well, you said
Puffy
it was the
Puffy had Puffy had his record label, Bad Boy.
Okay.
Suge Knight had Death Row Records. So there was an ongoing dispute between these two groups, and so Tupac was probably the lead. I would say the lead artist on Death Row Records, and so
and that's which one? That's
the
Suge Knight.
the one that's based on the West
Because
Coast.
Suge Knight was driving the car.
Suge Knight was in the car with Tupac when the murder happened.
oh wait, I thought. Oh, okay. Tupac was with Suge Knight.
Tupac was with
Gotcha.
Suge Knight.
Okay.
So, again, so they said that Puffy had a hit out on Tupac.
For what reason? I mean, all this speculation.
Yeah,
East Coast, West Coast.
it was a big
Back then, it was
a big
always
beef.
East Coast, West
Yeah,
Coast.
it was a
They
big beef.
Yeah, they were going against each other all the time.
Right.
Crips and the Bloods
Yeah.
and all that. It was everybody going against each
So how
other.
Crips and Bloods figure into rap?
Oh, that big.
Because you have Suge Knight and Death Row Records is basically all Bloods,
Have you seen the new dance, the Crip Walk?
and so. So Death Row Records, it was artists, it was full of Bloods. Suge Knight ran it like it was basically a continuing criminal enterprise, a money laundering enterprise, all kinds of stuff. So his record label, and he was a notorious member of the Bloods, and Tupac had
Who are
had
the
joined.
Crips? Who, you said
So Puffy, when the Crips actually provided security when Bad Boy traveled to the West Coast.
okay.
So they
how
had
you
kind
got
of
together.
this
And Snoop
semi-affiliation.
Dogg, he was Crip too,
And
wasn't
Snoop Dogg was Crip.
he? Yeah.
So
Was Snoop Dogg involved in any of this?
no,
Okay.
no. And so if you're
another
going to,
thing.
the thing is, the thing is too, he wouldn't have been able to hire Bloods to make this attack anyway. It would have had to been, he would have had to have hired Crips to make an attack against Suge Knight anyway. And so that's kind of the premise for that.
And I'm scared of Suge Knight. I don't even want to mention his name.
Is he still? Where is he now? Is he?
In jail. I think.
Is he back in jail? I think he is back in. He's back in jail.
Well, he wasn't a rapper.
No. He was the label owner.
An enforcer. Nobody wanted to say nothing bad about Suge Knight.
Yeah, okay.
You could end up dead.
But you know, it goes back to the big question: why wait 25 years?
Right.
Whenever
Yeah.
20 plus years later, you know, to arrest this man when basically everybody knew what he said. So I have to kind of agree with the conspiracy theory is that they're looking for a bigger fish.
Yeah. And they were talking about there was LA police that was involved in it. LA police involved in the cover up. LA police involved in the because they also hired LA police officers for security when they went to the when Bad Boy flew out to the West Coast. And so they were I mean there was a big involvement they were talking about of the LA Police Department, which may have also been the reasons why what brought the feds into the equation as well. And so this idea, I mean, it's a long way from being over because he has threatened to expose Puffy. That's what Keefe D has threatened to expose Puffy as far as them paying for Tupac's murder.
Who's really behind all this? Who's really behind all this?
What do you mean by that?
You know what?
It's-
You know what?
Who do
I'm
you
gonna
suspect?
raise my hand. It begins with a W and it ends with Ike. Ike folks, you know what I mean? So it's the same. It's probably the same hidden hand is always involved with black folks or against
Thank
black
you.
folks.
That's the point.
You know what I mean? So yeah,
That's
it's
the point I'm driving.
the same hidden
They're
hand.
behind this.
It's always the
always
same.
Well, you also have to remember in rap music at that time, especially being involved in shootings and all this kind of stuff, that was just part of the thing, you know.
Okay, can I take this a little different?
Yeah.
You've
Absolutely.
been wanting to take it
Yeah.
for a while.
Come on, Freddie.
Go ahead.
Javier.
And so let me give my disclaimer. Any opinions that he give are his own and don't reflect.
You know, you've been wanting to say it. Go ahead.
Go
and
ahead,
say
go
it.
get him, go get him.
Is this good for our kids?
What, rap music in general
All this.
or the violence associated with it?
This is what they concentrate on. This is their discussions. This is what they talk about. Is this good for our kids?
You know what? I tell you what. Rap has gone through a lot of different phases over the years. You know, back when I was younger, we had conscious rap, we had X Clan, and we had Public Enemy, and we had a lot of conscious rap, and so we seen it transform. We went through different phases. We saw the gangster rap. We saw the onset of NWA, NWA. Why am I? I was going to say, yeah. Okay, NWA, and we saw.
He's Freddie W.
No, so we saw the gangster genre come in, and then we saw the what they call, I guess it evolved into the drug rap and the trap music and all that kind of stuff. So we've seen different iterations of rap music. Today's generation of rap music is not about violence. It's not about selling drugs. Kids these days rap about using drugs. They rap about smoking weed and getting smoked out and lean, and so
And right now it's probably more about sex.
it's more. I mean, it's different change. So rap music these days are not about violence. This generation, and we even had the little bit of the Drake era, the backpack music, where it was about being nerdy. So I mean, it transforms itself. So when you pose the question, I mean, every generation goes through this. Even the older generations, when you had the onset of a Marvin Gaye and it was the music. Our parents deemed the music to be too sexual.
Are you trying to say?
I am trying to
The
say
Temptations, the
that-
Four Top, Marvin Gaye, the
even Teddy
Supremes
Pendergrass, when Teddy
were
Pendergrass came along,
damaging
people
to
were.
youth as
I'm saying
this
that
stuff is.
people deemed the music to be inappropriate and too sexual.
I remember when that Let's Get It On album came out. I was going to John Jett Me. I was almost high school. And I bought the album, went upstairs, and turned the volume down low. Prince. Everybody had Prince.
Yep.
Right? I would go upstairs, turn the volume down low.
Darling Nikki and all that. Oh, no, I mean, but every generation has this where people think, okay, well, the music is going to turn our children into sexual deviants. When Elvis came out, white folks would say, this music is going to turn our kids into sexual deviants. And so it's every generation that questions that generation's music. You know what I mean? I hear my kids playing something, and I'll be like, oh my God, that music's trash. You know what I mean? They had this thing called mumble rap that came out. And I was like, what are you listening? You can't even hear what the words are, you can't hear what they're saying. So it goes on as every generation. And so again, fortunately, the rap music that's out today is not promoting violence. You know what I mean? And so when you ask the question, well, is this music good for our kids? Every generation has to express themselves. They have their modes of expression, their means of expression. And so whether or not this generation's music is good for our kids, future generations are going to have to judge that.
I won't. I'll leave it alone. I'll leave it alone.
Well, this is getting to the end of, I
Yeah.
guess, our hot
All right,
topic.
Tommy.
But I do want to say one thing before we do sign off. My prayers go out to the Morgan State University family and students. That has been one of my greatest fears, that there would be a major shooting at one of our HBCUs. Sadly, it happened during homecoming week at Morgan State. So I hate to say it, thoughts and prayers to the family
Yes.
and the students at Morgan State.
Okay. And Caleb, since this was your show, you can take us on out.
Nope. No, I feel that there was no more appropriate way to take us out than what Dr. Sharon just expressed. And so, on behalf of Contemporary Black Voices, we all extend our thoughts and prayers to Morgan State, to the families, to the loved ones. That's the best
Okay.
thing.
And we'll be back again telling our story our way.